Soon after we got here, I was working at Nazareth Village, and I was thinking, dang, we should just hike it like this, hike the Jesus Trail, because we were already working with Jesus Trail, and to bring the two things together made a lot of sense.
The similarities between the Nazareth Village and the Jesus Trail, I see them incorporating and working really well together. They go hand in hand. One is the life and the daily life experience of being on a village first century as Jesus would have experienced, and the other one is actually walking the path that Jesus would have walked.
One of our biggest questions when we began the project was what to wear on our feet, because when we volunteer at Nazareth Village, we often wear first century sandals or something like leather sandals that would have been fairly authentic in the first century, but I think it would be very difficult not to get backaches and blisters. And how do first century people actually live and accept hospitality, and how do they carry water and food, and do they carry firewood, and do they build fires?
So it's really developed, and then, of course we have to think of, well, how does that fit in modern life? Will people think we're strange as we walk through towns?
I think that Phil and Betsy's walk kind of takes the whole Jesus Trail experience to a new level. I mean, the part of the reason for the trail is to really experience the surroundings and the culture and the whole atmosphere of what Jesus would have went through. And so to really get into character like this, I think will kind of kick it up a level.
I do kind of wish I were wearing a first century costume. It just seems like something interesting and out of the ordinary to do. I probably won't be too jealous when I'm warm and toasty. I don't think it was a really comfortable time to be alive in the first century. Probably had to deal with being pretty dirty, cold, maybe hungry sometimes. I don't know that it would be enviable, but it's an interesting experience to do for a short amount of time.
We're going to make a fire and prepare a meal, bread and a soup, and share it with any guests that come by, just like they would have done in the first century.
We have a fire going here. I'm going to come and get some fire from here and take it down there.
I thought about this a lot when we were doing the Jesus Trail, or like seeing some of these scenes. Like they say a picture's worth 1,000 words, but to actually experience it is worth so much more. It made pictures feel worthless. Like I didn't even take a lot of pictures because I was like, there's no way I can like convey what I just saw.
To get things.
Nashkurak ya Allah. Okay, we thank you, O God. So to make it quick, it's shukran. But even when they say shukran, they know that they are thanking God before they're thanking the human being.
experience with traffic. They look a little confused. They made it.
It's been really great so far. The weather's been really perfect actually. It's kind of cool and a little windy. Gotten a lot of double takes. People going whoop, you know, and looking again.
A lot of laughter.
Some people laughing a lot.
And some people don't want to look at us. They're kind of like, should we be looking at them? What's wrong?
I am going up hills and back down. Glory to God and good news, they said, so we seek the new peace begun. Prince of Peace, we need you, Bethlehem one.
A lot of people along the trail recognized us and said, are you walking like Jesus? You look like Jesus. And we met all kinds of people walking through Mashad and Cana and some wilderness area as well. There was this great moment, kind of Arab hospitality moment when we were walking through Cana, and we had just eaten lunch and we were ready to go again, and we walked by one of the guest houses on the Jesus Trail, thinking we could sneak by, and the hostess there was sitting out on her porch and saw us and invited us in for tea. It was kind of just a joyful moment, drinking tea, and then we were all warm and ready to go again.
There was this really funny moment when we were at this traffic light, and cars were coming, and we were just enjoyed watching everybody's face while they went by us. Because some of them were just laughing, some were smiling, some were like, what the? And we weren't pushing the button to go, so we waited through several times that the light turned, and I don't know if the cars were beeping at us because we weren't walking or because they thought we were interesting. But
the children were just being let out of school, so there were probably almost 100 children running around screaming in the streets because it was something exciting for them, I guess, to see us and interact with us. But the whole trail up to Ilania, we went through kind of some back country, and it was just beautiful out. It felt like you were out in the middle of nowhere. There were no sounds except wilderness sounds and huge fields of green grass, and it was just a really beautiful experience. One of the best feelings was arriving at Ilania Goat Farm and near Galilee Junction, where we're staying the night. The sun was at a perfect angle, the grass is green, there are flowers and gardens everywhere, and goats and frogs, and somebody driving their sheep home at night. It just felt like a moment of paradise. You know, you're tired and your feet are dirty, and you come to this place where there's soft green grass, you know, like in Psalm 23. In just a few minutes, we need to start a fire so that we can make supper for the crew here and ourselves. Last night we had brown lentil stew. Tonight we're gonna have red lentil stew with bulgur and some goat cheese from this amazing goat farm, and bread from a local bakery in Nazareth.
It's like an example, and I think yesterday they had a chance to see how things used to be.
Those days.
And those days, exactly, and I don't think it was that easy. Correct me if I'm wrong.
When you go in the costume, I think you feel different. You are not a hiker, you're part of a story.
Yeah.
And I think this is what Jesus is all about, to be part of a story of what Jesus done 2,000 years ago. And it's very exciting, even for us as a Jews, to see this experience and these people that are want to go in Jesus' footprints.
Don't give up.
2 seconds.
We are at just beyond Galilee Junction, so Behind us is a Roman road, which would have gone from Acco on the coast all the way to Tiberias. And so we're kind of going in the right direction, I guess. Jesus very likely would have walked this road to get to the Sea of Galilee himself.
It's been very doable. I think there are challenges. It's hard to get rid of plastic, and we find that we still have to use certain things, matches sometimes.
This morning was really funny, just over here at Galilee Junction, seeing people's reactions. My favorite was this whole bus of kids, and they were all waving at us like as they were going through the stoplight, so that was fun. We waved back.
I think one of the most interesting parts of their walk will probably be when they cross the Roman roads, because then it's like they're dressed in antiquity, and then they're like actual walking on Roman roads that could have been part of the same actual road, and so it's just kind of, I don't know, I kind of think of that as a pinnacle of where the two stories will kind of meet.
We put a camelback inside of here. Actually, I washed it out really good a couple of times with soap, and would have drank water out of it. I was confident enough in it, but it would have dribbled kind of constantly, and which would have been annoying. And so, yeah, we just went with this instead.
Here we are at the Horns of Hattin, facing the Arbel Cliffs and the Sea of Galilee. We can finally see the Sea of Galilee after many kilometers of travel. I think we're getting a little tired by the end of only our second day. We've had some long hikes, and I think it's just the clothes aren't too inhibiting, but I think it is just strange to be walking in different clothes. I feel just a little out of myself or something.
So I remember the third morning we were descending in a drizzle. It was kind of gloomy and really foggy and kind of mysterious, and we were coming down this hillside through these fabulous ruins, and we got to the bottom and we were all kind of just walking single file really quietly, and I just remember feeling like the disciples walking through there with Jesus and wondering what they were thinking as they walked along that morning, and I don't know, it just felt the humanity of people who walk in early mornings in rain in the Galilee region. And then, of course, standing at the Sea of Galilee and looking out across there and thinking, there's not really much question that historically the Gospels happened here. Sea of Galilee isn't somewhere else. This is the Sea of Galilee. And so Jesus did take boats across here, and his disciples were casting nets here, and we're living right around this place. And that was just really powerful. It hit me even more than other times when I've been at the sea, especially as I was standing there, with a flowing robe in the breeze.
The first century costume walk was a very positive experience for both of us.
It was fun to make a vision into a reality, and to see that come together gradually. By first asking a whole bunch of questions, and then seeing the people at Nazareth Village try to help us answer those, and the people at Jesus Trail help us answer those questions, and then give us the practical ability to do it. It's one thing to learn knowledge, and it's another thing to live it. And we were living this knowledge that people had put together about Jesus and his life.
We all try to kind of be a part of some kind of story to make meaning for our lives, or to provide an identity for ourselves. And so it was important to be able to just try to understand a little bit what it was like to live for thousands of years in this part of the world, and the struggles that people would have faced, and where we go from this point. What do we learn from people who have been faithful here?